Hi everyone. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to show you how I set up the structure for my breakout room or escape room activities that I created. I used Google Sites to house all of the important information. So Google Sites lets you create a free website where you're able to embed other Google content into the site so that students can have access to a presentation and a form all at the same time. So I added this header to begin. This is going to be like a haunted hotel escape room, and you can make it look however you'd like. And you can see the main two components to my site are the form. This is how I collect the data from my students. And then I have my Google slide presentation as well. So this is a Google form, this is a Google slide, and I'll show you each of these individually here in a second. And at the bottom of my Google site, I also have this little help section. So my amazing co-teacher makes these awesome test review videos, and you can click on each of these questions will bring you to a video that explains the actual review question. So if a student is totally stuck on a review question, they can watch how it's done and get the answer that way. And at the worst, if students just click to try to find the answers, we're hoping that at least they're watching and listening to get the review material that way. Okay, so really quick, I'll show you the presentation first, the Google slide. So in here, you have to have a Google account, by the way, to do all this. They're free. You can go set one up for yourself. I just made, it's basically like PowerPoint. You're making a presentation for the students to go through. So the main idea for this unit was to escape the haunted hotel. And then I kind of set the stage and make, little tidbits on each slide to kind of have a story, make it more interactive than just a typical PowerPoint with questions and going through the review that way. So I've shown them here that they're going to click on the 6th floor. If they click anywhere on this page, it will bring them. I do have it linked. You just can't see it right now. I have it linked down here to the next slide. So their first floor they get to is the 6th floor, and they have, I think, 3 questions to answer on each floor. Once they answer the question, they can click on the little fun verbiage to get to the next room on that floor. You can see I've linked just that box to the next slide, where if they click on anything else on the slide, it's going to keep them on the same slide. Okay, the other thing I'm going to show you, so I have the 3, you can see there's 3 questions for the 6th floor, and then it will take them back to the elevator to get off the elevator and go to the next floor. Now, you might be asking, okay, so how do they record their answers? Where are these all recorded? So in my Google form, I have my hotel breakout form. They have to put in their first and last name. That question is required. Okay, so something I did learn in using Google Forms. Originally, I had all the floors required that they had to submit some sort of answer, but then it wouldn't let them submit the form if they didn't finish the activity within the class time. So I couldn't gauge who worked on it versus who finished it. That was the only disadvantage. So make sure when you're doing this, you can make first and last name required, but then for your individual questions, I would not have them required if you don't think everyone's going to make it through the whole activity in a class period. But what I did do, I'm going to show you quick, one way for students to self-check their work. So for the 6th floor, remember that I had 3 questions in the Google Slides. So they have to put all 3 answers for one floor in a short answer text. And you can use the Google form to actually check whether or not they get it right. So when you go over here to add question, you're going to change the type to short answer. And right here, this little triple colon, this response validation will allow you to choose exactly what you'd want the student to put. So I chose text, and it has to contain, and then I put the exact text that it needed to contain for them to know if they got those 3 questions right or wrong. And you can see up here, I told them they're still trapped on the 6th floor. Okay, so that was their indication that they didn't get all of the answers correct if they submitted their answers and they didn't get the right answer. Okay, so that's one way that students can kind of self-check. And then again, I always remind students to go back to that help section in the Google site if they get stuck on a question and need to watch. Okay, so that's this part in here. You could probably embed links for them to click on the slides as well, like if they get stuck on something. That would be another way to do that. We just happen to make these videos for all of our units anyway, so we have those already set up. But I think another technique, if you want them to be able to go ahead and get help individually, putting a link to a short video recording of an example would also be beneficial in your actual PowerPoint. So hopefully that helps in terms of how I collect the data, how I set up the site. If you have any other questions, you're free to email me about what I did and how I did it. Thanks for watching.